want to be a copycat. I like to do my own thing. Do your own jazzy thing.
Hello and welcome to my dramatically lit corner. I'm going to take these sunglasses off now because I don't think they're very good for fostering a sense of communication, a bond, a sense of closeness between me and the audience. I feel like you want to see someone's eyes. I did just get my final Black Friday shipment in, and these are part of them. They're pretty dope. Anyway, hi! Pixel is just out of frame because she's camera shy. Come here. There she is. Yeah. Wow, cats, right? Cats. Hey, so it's a chill Thursday evening here. I'm at my house. I don't know why I always start these by telling you what day of the week it is. I feel like, I don't know, it's good to establish a sense of time and space. So right off the bat, it's Thursday, it's 4:48 p.m. And do you know where your kids are? Oh, now there's another cat. I'm flanked by cats. I am home alone, which is normally very chill, but I've actually been listening to a lot of true crime themed podcasts, as well as watching a true crime documentary on Netflix. So, Pixel, you're blocking my light. Thank you. And I've been feeling really weird when I'm home alone lately, and it's not fun. I think talking to people is going to make me feel better. Also, the fact that I have to stop listening to murder stories while I record this will also maybe make me feel better. But yeah, I've been listening to the My Favorite Murder podcast, and it's not great, but it's not bad. It's like they just go through two murders, real ass murders that have happened each episode. Usually with a different theme. I just started it, and so I'm pretty early on, and they're just introducing the concept of themes. And they just kind of go through it pretty lightly. There's not intense research done on it. They're just kind of talking about it from a perspective of like, oh, this stood out to me when I read it, or when I heard about this when it happened, this is what like stuck in my brain and what I thought was most interesting about it, and it's pretty quick. But it still means I've been listening to hours and hours of content a week about how human beings decide to violently take the life of other human beings. And so I feel really weird. A similar thing happened to me a few years ago when season 1 of Serial came out, and I listened to Serial a lot. And between episodes of Serial, I was listening to the audiobook of Gone Girl, which also, no spoilers, but, deals with concepts of killing people. And I was a personal assistant at the time, so I was just driving around a lot, just driving around LA, which I didn't know very well at the time. I was still pretty new, and I was just by myself because most of my job wasn't like one-on-one personal assistant stuff. It was a lot of just running errands, getting groceries, picking this person up, getting her car here, making sure smoothies were at the studio, like stuff like that. So I was by myself all the time listening to Murder Thoughts, and now I'm by myself all the time listening to Murder Thoughts again, and it really puts you in a weird headspace. You're very suspicious. You see men walking down the street, and you're like, there's like a 50-50 chance you murdered your girlfriend and children this morning, and I wouldn't even know about it, and that's how you're evaluating all the people around you, rather than from a loving place of like, we share a community together, isn't that beautiful? We should make a public vegetable garden, and I wonder if we like the same coffee shop. No, it's just like, what are the odds you have stabbed a person? So, feeling a little weird. Put my sunglasses back on for a minute. Okay, I feel better. All right. Well, now that you guys know how I'm feeling, let's look at the Discord. I'm actually not gonna wear these, sorry. Amboy said, Dear Coral, how do you feel about Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean weirded me out a lot as a kid. I didn't like him. I saw his intro is really weird because it's like an empty street and then a flash of light or something, and then he's curled up on the ground. I don't know. I really didn't like it, and he just generally kind of weirded me out as a small child, as a young one. So I stayed away from Mr. Bean. I'm sure he's a lovely man. I don't know what I'm talking about, but at the time I was, no thank you, sir. Spice Gayton said, Dear Coral, I just discovered this is a thing and I love it. And it's Julian Casablancas and it's a Christmas song. Let's all listen together, everybody. Okay. It didn't feel strokesy until now. I will bank that, because even though it is December 13th, I still don't really feel like Christmas music is appropriate. When I'm back home, like when I am at my Christmas destination, it'll feel Christmassy, and I'll have that on deck. You know, for someone who really is a Julian Casablancas fan, I never really had a Strokes phase. I just think he's cute. Amboy said, Dear Coral, how do you like the new paper compared to the other? As in the watercolor paper. It's so much nicer. Thank you. I think that was Philistine that got it for me. I really appreciate it. It is crazy how different it is, to the point where like the first few times I used it, I was like, this is too different, and the paint is not responding to it how I have grown to expect it to, and there's a bit of a learning curve because it just operates totally differently. But now you can see how much better it is, and it's much more satisfying to paint on actual watercolor paper than like flimsy kid craft paper. So thank you. It's definitely better. I think I might like watercolor. I never really tried my hand at it too much when I was younger and experimenting with a lot of different art stuff, because I'm just not a fan of how most watercolor looks. Like a lot of it is very, here's a nice flower and here's a realistic landscape of a lake behind my house, and yeah, it's very pretty. But it doesn't have to be. It's not the limit of the medium. And I actually do enjoy just like using watercolors now. So I think I'm gonna try and get better at it, especially now that I can use like nice paper. So it's cool. Bertha said, Dear Hot Crotch Coral, do you have a preference for your Japanese war fans? Gunsen, Tessen, Dansen, Uchiwa? What? I don't know. What's a Japanese war fan? You guys, making me do research for this bit now. You can see me typing. Isn't that exciting? Do you like my nails? Japanese war fan. I didn't know these were war fans. I've seen fans like this. Are there fans that look similar but they're not war fans? They're just fans? Or are all fans that like this a war fan? A Japanese war fan is a fan designed for use in warfare. There you go. Several types of war fans were used by the samurai class of Feudal Japan, and each has a different look and purpose. Wow! I don't know enough about this to answer you. Here's the different types, but there's not pictures, so I can't. I like the main picture on the Wikipedia entry for Japanese war fan. That one's really pretty. I like it. It's simple. It's made of iron, bamboo, and lacquer, depicting the sun. Gorgeous. It doesn't say what. Oh, it's a Gunsen. There you go. I like Gunsen Japanese war fans. Bertha, thank you for your question. J-Rad said, when are you going to join the weeb community? I've never felt that kinship with the weebs. I mean, if anyone wants to like fly me to Japan for a month, then I can really know for sure if it's for me or not. That would be the way to find out. But short of that, I don't think that's my calling. I don't feel like I am destined to be a part of that community. Jid said, Coral, no need to read this during CC. Okay. Dude with the paper holiday bag said, Dear Coral, how come soap doesn't taste as good as it smells? Fragrances are super weird. I have a cousin who is a perfumist. Perfumer. I have a cousin who makes perfume, and the chemistry and science that goes into fragrances and just how your nose works is all really crazy and wild, and I don't really know a lot of the details, but it is pretty interesting. I think the short answer to that question is just chemicals, probably. But it is strange how that doesn't... Anything that tastes good is gonna smell how it tastes, but things that smell good don't necessarily have to taste good. Man, the human body's wild. Burb just said, Dear Coral, was the clapper the original smart home device? It might be. I've never thought about it. Well, when did they come up with touch lamps? The ones you just touch and they turn on. I don't know which is older. I feel like touch lamps might be older because that's a more basic electrical system. And I've seen them in shitty hotels that I've stayed at, which means it has to be from like at least the 80s, right? So maybe touch lamps are the first smart home device. And I think that's it. Cool. Well, that was short and sweet. I think I might try and do end of year lists, and I might make that into like a little video, or even if I just write it up, maybe I'll just post it on Patreon instead of anywhere else. I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to do movies, TV, and music if I do like a little roundup listy thing for the end of the year, but I am open to weird ass other categories. So give me some ideas, and I might do that. I'll either do that for like another Coral's Corner before the end of the year, or I'll just do a write up and post it on Patreon or something. I don't know. Every year I try to be really diligent about logging my content intake, you know, where I have like Spotify. I make a Spotify playlist for each month where I'm logging like what I listen to and what comes out each month. And then I try to have like a notepad on my desktop for every movie or show I watch, and I'm good about it until like mid-February usually. So it's gonna require some research for me to go back and see what I actually enjoyed this year. But I think I'm gonna put some time into that sometime this week. And I guess that's it. All right, great. I'm gonna go to the store now. Bye.